The concept of a new world order has been a topic of discussion for decades, with many believing it to be a secretive and powerful group seeking to control world events. Recently, the idea that this group is using climate change propaganda to oppress individuals has gained traction. Proponents of this theory argue that the elite are utilizing the threat of climate change to manipulate and dominate the masses, stripping them of their freedom and autonomy. At the heart of this theory is the notion that climate change is being exaggerated or even fabricated to serve the interests of the New World Order. Supporters of this idea point to the fact that climate change has become a highly politicized issue, with many world leaders and organizations using it to push for drastic policy changes and increased government control. They argue that the true intention behind these efforts is not to protect the environment, but to consolidate power and wealth in the hands of a few individuals. One of the primary ways in which the New World Order is allegedly using climate change propaganda to oppress individuals is through the promotion of sustainable development and green technology. On the surface, these initiatives appear to be aimed at reducing humanity's impact on the environment. However, critics argue that they are actually designed to create a new world economy, one in which the elite control the means of production and distribution. This would allow them to dictate the terms of economic activity, effectively enslaving the population. Another aspect of the climate change propaganda is the emphasis on individual responsibility and guilt. The media and politicians often portray climate change as a problem that can be solved through personal actions, such as reducing carbon footprints, using public transportation, and recycling. While these actions may be beneficial for the environment, they also serve to distract from the larger structural issues driving climate change. By focusing on individual responsibility, the New World Order is allegedly able to shift the blame away from corporations and governments, which are the true culprits behind environmental degradation. The push for a global carbon tax is also seen as a key component of the New World Order's plan to oppress individuals through climate change propaganda. A carbon tax would provide a new source of revenue for governments, allowing them to further centralize power and control. It would also create a new market for carbon credits, which could be manipulated by the elite to their advantage. Furthermore, the implementation of a carbon tax would require a significant expansion of government surveillance and monitoring, as authorities would need to track and regulate individual carbon emissions. In addition to these measures, the New World Order is also alleged to be using climate change propaganda to promote a culture of fear and hysteria. By constantly bombarding the public with dire predictions and apocalyptic scenarios, they are able to create a sense of urgency and panic. This, in turn, allows them to push for radical policy changes and increase government control, all under the guise of saving the planet. A constant stream of climate-related news and propaganda also serves to distract from other important issues such as economic inequality, social justice, and individual freedom. Despite the claims made by proponents of this theory, there is no concrete evidence to support the idea that the satanic New World Order is using climate change propaganda to oppress individuals. However, it is clear that climate change has become a highly politicized issue, and that there are those who seek to exploit it for their own gain. As with any complex issue, it is essential to approach climate change with a critical and nuanced perspective, recognizing both the genuine concerns and the potential for manipulation and exploitation. By doing so, we can work towards creating a more just and sustainable world, one that is not dominated by the interests of a powerful elite.